Martins Gegner ist nur 2 Jahre älter als er selbst, 23 Jahre alt, gewann 2014 die World Youth Championship, war 2014 auch der Spieler, der den PDC Award Young Player of the Year bekam. Im Jahr darauf, 2015, holte er sich seinen bislang einzigen Titel bei der PDC auf einem PDC Pro Tour Event. Die Rede ist von The Needle, Keegan Brown.
Well, a couple of 23-year-olds on stage here at the European Darts Trophy. The Happy Bet European Darts Trophy here at the RWE Arena in Mulheim in Germany. As Keegan Brown, a former world youth champion, takes on Justin Wiebers. Not Bieber. Wiebers, young German from Dortmund who made it through the host nation qualifiers. This is his Euro Tour debut. And we are yet to see what kind of game this lad has got. Dan Dawson in the commentary box, Paul Nicholson alongside me.
Well, we're about to find out what this kid has got, but we know exactly what Keegan Brown has got. I think even he would admit that we haven't seen enough of it lately. But the man in pink has got himself back on the big stage, and that is the first step to getting back to where he wants to be, near the winner's circle, and giving himself more opportunities to get more wins.
First leg, Keegan to throw first. Game on.
Well, it is the former world youth champion Keegan Brown who has the advantage of throw in this one. He is a heavy odds-on favourite to win it, and I have to say, for a man who's not won many games of late, it'd be a brave man to whack a load of money on him against an unknown quantity in Justin Wiebers.
140.
Somebody said to me last week, after the Dragerton Horvat sensation, actually I think it was Robbie Green who told me this, better the devil you know than the devil you don't.
97.
And we don't know anything about Justin Wiebers. Every time I say that, I think of Justin Bieber. Well, baby, 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 how much you got?
42.
Got a Bavieber in the commentary box.
No, you don't.
34.
Well, the winner of this one has the dubious honour of going through to round 2 to face the world #1 Michael van Gerwen, MVG multiple winner
40.
of the European Tour this year, let alone over the course of its relatively short history. He is back. And that is a maximum for Keegan Brown.
Yeah, welcome back to the stage, Keegs. He's taking charge of this leg. And he definitely took charge against Wayne Jones in qualifying. 6-1 victory
56.
and a very narrow victory against Brendan Dolan to qualify. 6-5 that one was.
36.
These are dangerous ties, especially when you haven't been on stage much recently. You know, you will be a little bit jittery to start with. Then again, the debutant will be as well.
53. You require
Pressure's on Keegan.
No, all the time in the world to see this off. He's left a bogey number, Wiebers.
10.
Oh, he's not making it easy for himself, Keegan Brown.
What he's got to do here is he's just got to make sure he gets the job done. It's not about big averages. It's just about getting the job done here and having
100.
something to remember, providing you win.
Game shot in the first leg. Keegan Brown.
Now, he's got that done.
Second leg, Justin.
There wasn't really any
throw
stress
first.
with it.
Game on.
You might think there was stress because there was a few missed doubles, but there really wasn't any stress on his throw. So just keep doing what you're doing, Keegan. You should be fine, unless
60.
Mr. Wiebers starts hitting that treble. And coincidentally, if he wins the match, I wonder if he'll have a change of strip.
100.
Well, I mean, they've both come dressed as a couple of marker pens, these two. Wiebers, I mean, he's got a look about him. Fired in 2 darts in the treble 20 with his very first 2 darts on a Euro Tour stage. That's been about as good as it's got. 125 is a little bit better.
100.
Yeah, it's a very interesting thing to talk about with Keegan Brown. I know Keegan very well. And when he won his first Pro Tour, as we watch the first 180 on stage for the hometown favourite, Keegan's obviously won a Pro Tour, which he won in Coventry. Played sensationally that day by beating Adrian Lewis in the final with a
36.
it was about 110 average that day. But since then, things really haven't gone his way. He's got some tricky draws on TV.
100.
But he does balance his darts with his job, and that's his entire thought process.
60.
I totally respect it.
36.
You don't have many dart players that are actual scientists.
No, he works as a lab technician, doesn't he, in a hospital in the Isle of Wight, as Vebers looks at double 9. And
18.
well, I mean, you gave him a chance of a 13 darter there. He will come back and look at 18 to level the match up at 1 apiece.
96.
Vebers after
18.
bit of a streaky opening leg for a 16 darter. Nothing wrong with
Shows in
that.
the second leg.
Vebers does
Justin Vebers.
level the match
Keegan
up.
to throw first.
And that's the thing. How hard is it? Keegan's a very down-to-earth and mature lad.
59.
But for a long while, ever since he won the World Youth Championship, people were saying, oh, this lad's going to be the next big thing. He's going to be massive. And he won his first title, and he made the quarterfinals of the Grand Slam. But
45.
despite when it was all going really well for him, it still heaped on pressure for him to keep on doing more and more and more. And he has had a spell of a few months now. Which
96.
He didn't even qualify for the UK Open this year. And, I mean, it's not easy to qualify for the UK Open, but a player of Keegan's undoubted ability and potential,
59.
you would expect a bare minimum for him to qualify in some form. Maybe even be one of the top seeds, things go well.
Yeah, that's right.
180.
And that's one of the reasons why, because he is such an incredible 180 hitter when he's on form. He's very hard to beat. And
82.
why he hasn't performed this season is a little bit of a mystery. I mean, obviously, in his eyes, he's not done what he wanted to do over the last 12 months. Whether there's been things in his personal life, things have changed. He's a married man now. Himself and Roz, his wife, have got their own home.
60.
So things aren't bad in his life. It's just sometimes darts doesn't click into place.
53.
But he's got a lot of time ahead of him.
Well, there are very few people in any sphere where it's just unadulterated success after success after success. You're going to have periods where it's not going great, and it's how you bounce back from those. And Keegan is undoubtedly, because this is his first Euro Tour of the year. Double 16 now for 2-1. Perhaps a good thing that fell out.
32. Justin Uriquois, 150.
I don't know about you, Darren. I'm thinking, uh-oh here.
Yeah.
Treble 19. Breathes again, Keegan. Now he's got to get rid of it.
44. Keegan Uriquois, 16.
If he does miss it, it will compound the stress that he could put himself under. And it's
Team
gone
Charles
now.
in the third leg. Keegan Brown. Fourth leg, Justin to throw first.
And again,
Game
he's
on.
got the job done there, but it wasn't particularly pretty from Keegan Brown.
What you were saying before, Dan, as well, very apt, because I
100.
think when you do have lulls in your career, and I can say this from experience now, it's how you conduct yourself and how you handle the pressure whilst
55.
in the lull. You know, how do you find yourself getting out of that hole? And the only way to really experience it is to, have that dive of form and ask yourself some pretty
60.
stiff questions and say, right, what do we do now? What choices do we make? And at the moment, I think Keegan's making some good choices. When you're
140.
taking out players like Wayne Jones and Brendan Dolan and qualifying, you obviously throwing a decent dart.
Yeah, Brendan particularly, his game has taken an upturn of late, and Brendan doesn't give you any games. You've got to go and win it, and he's won it in deciding leg. But the fact that we're in the 8th Euro Tour of the year, and this is the first time we've seen
25.
Keegan on stage, just seems kind of strange. If somebody said that was going to happen 2 years ago, you'd have laughed at them. You'd be thinking about Keegan challenging for, on the
46.
final day of action in these Euro Tours.
Yeah.
But young players, they do have peaks and troughs, and it's about how he learns to deal with that. If he's going to be a professional darter for potentially,
85.
a number of years, maybe even a couple of decades, then he's going to have to learn how to deal with it. And here comes a
Third 180
for Keegan Brown.
You know what else he said to me when we had many a conversation? Because actually Keegan likes to talk about politics, believe it or not.
Wow.
He's very politically minded.
41. You require 80.
Single 20 will leave tops. Tops it is.
60.
He's got time on his side. But I asked him once, when are you going to move to the mainland? Because he lives in the Isle of Wight. He said, if you lived in the Isle of Wight and it was the warmest place in Britain, would you move? I said,
60.
probably not. And then he gave me another
20.
argument was, I get a free festival every year, do you?
I
said no.
Keegan Brown.
And he said yes to double 10, so 3-1 Keegan Brown.
Keegan to throw first.
And that's a bit more like it from Keegan Brown. A break of throw. He goes 3-1 up here. Just to put in context, Justin Wiebes, of course, we haven't seen him on the European Tour before. This is his debut, but he did knock out Rene Idams in the final match of qualifying. And we know that Idams is a very dangerous player. So, look, he can obviously play.
What's good, though, is that we're seeing more fresh
60.
faces from the home nation qualifiers. It's not just Rene Idams, Max Hopp, Martin Schindler, and you know, Fabian Hertz all the time. You know, it used to always be Andre Velge and Thomas Saylor.
Yes.
Now we're seeing, you know, Dragutin Horvat and Justin Wiebes and lots of other talents. And the more experience that these guys get on stage, the better they will be.
Yeah, and Wiebes has, he's been around PDC darts for a little bit now. As I say, he's 23 years old from Dortmund. He played in the World Youth Championship in 2014. Made the last 32, ended up losing to Kay Nunn when he beat John de Cruyff. But he also played we had a development tour weekend here in Germany earlier this year, so they played 4 development tour events over the course of the 2 days, and he made the last 32 in one of those, but it's all experience, isn't it? You know,
94.
If you're not the shining light of German darts, or any country's darts, where you've got somebody who's willing, because you're the figurehead for it, to put some money behind you and say, go on, you go and travel over to England, play all these development tour events, get the experience, then you might have limited opportunities to go and do it. So we've got the Germany weekend. We may have more on mainland Europe, and it will give the likes of Wiebes and the new generation of European players a chance to go and test themselves and see whether it is worth pursuing.
83.
And this is just another step for him. This could be another leg for Keegs. 2 9s. Yeah.
Shot in the 5th leg.
Yeah, that's what he wanted. The fist pump is basically because he didn't mess around. Yes, he misses the 18s. Yes, he misses the 9s with the second one, but he doesn't give his opponent another visit. And that, in a small way, just builds that little confidence snowball that he's trying to get back at the minute.
There's a little bit more swagger about him now than when he was all tied up at 1 apiece with Wiebes here. And Keegan, despite being one of the most gentle-natured people in darts away from the stage, when he is up there, he's got a bit of an attitude about him. I don't like it.
Nothing wrong with that.
Well, present company accepts.
60.
We should really touch on who else Justin Wiebes beat in qualifying, which was Pierre Fink
45.
and Alfred Tetempel.
Yeah, he's beaten an Alfred, a Pierre, and a Rene in qualifying.
Yeah, it's all very cosmopolitan.
Good.
There's a lot of movement in the throw. It's all solid, sort of silky movement that I like.
It does move. It does move left and right quite a bit. It seems a bit of lateral movement in that arm as he's setting it up. I'm not quite sure if everything's going quite straight there or not.
60.
And he's put 3 in the big 20, so it's not wildly pulling them left and right. But
there was a lot of movement in Max Hopp's throw. He's tried different rhythms. And
140.
I personally don't think Max Hopp's throw is at its optimum right now. I think there needs to be some work on the rhythm issue. But what I do like about Justin Wiebes' throw is that it's very repetitive. It might have a bit of movement back and forward, but it's constantly the same timing.
So I mean, you saw Pyman early on. Pyman's very famously he gets the arm going 3 or 4 times before he actually lets go of it. Now then, is he going for it? He is. Does he go for the ball? Go on, Justin Wiebes. Oh, not far away. Wow.
Keegan, you
well,
153.
If you were going to sleep, Keegan, that might have woken you up a little bit. This game isn't over yet. You've still got a job to do.
59. Justin, you require 25.
All right, where does he go? Is it 9 or 1? It's a 9. Double 8. Looks like a blocker
9.
because his
Keegan,
darts
you require
kicked to the
94.
right. That would have covered a lot of the bed. It's going to be 19 and bull. Bullseye. Oh,
69.
great effort, Keegs.
Justin, you require
Looks inviting
16.
to just slide in alongside it, that dart in the 25. Vivas for 4-2, over to the double 4. Down to the double 2. Just taking a moment.
14.
Not
Keegan, you
to
require
be. And Keegan
25.
Brown for 5-1, and I think this may signal the end. If Brown can find double 8, which he
9.
can't.
One of those legs.
Justin, you require
Sometimes when someone isn't kicking on like Justin is not doing right now, it can drag your game into a different level. And we know that Keegan's better than this. We know that Justin is probably better than this. But at the moment, they've both thrown 24 darts. It's not the best leg in the world, but it's still edgy stuff. And someone's still got to register this leg.
2. No score. Keegan,
Well,
you require 16.
Doesn't matter how many darts it is, as long as you hit it, Keegan. 2 2s.
14.
Oh, we're going to the madhouse.
They're both in it.
Justin,
They're
you
both on
require
double 1.
2.
Well, they always say 1 up, 1 in. Maybe 2 up, 1 in.
No score. Keegan, you require 2.
It's all getting a little bit silly here in
Here you show us in
Mulheim,
the
but
sixth leg.
finally,
Keegan
Keegan Brown kills that leg off. It is 5-1.
7th leg. Keegan
And
to
Justin
throw
Vivas,
first.
well, you don't get many better chances
Game on.
to win legs than that.
We should talk about this because it does look like Keegan's going to win this game. I'd never like to write anybody off, but Keegan should
100.
win now, and he should win probably in this leg or the next. So, the thought process for Keegan now is stay on track for this match, and then if he wins 6-1, 6-2, he's got to remember he's playing MVG next. So,
41.
forget about this game completely. He's done the job today. He's done enough. Tomorrow's another day. You focus on what you do tomorrow. You never look back unless it's something that is
60.
absolutely sensational. Always remember positive things. For him today, the positive thing is that he's on the stage and he's leading.
And for all the problems he's had in the senior
60.
tour, he still has had some success on the development tour. He's had 3 quarterfinals and a final this year. This will be the last year he can play on the Dev Tour. This is more like it. That's more like it. And he's hit 4 180s today.
Well, that's something to cheer about.
It's just bizarre that, you know, he's hit 4 180s and yet
30.
in between
Keegan, you
there's been
require
some
161.
real sloppy stuff from Keegan Brown. But this would be a finish with a flourish.
Sometimes you got to win ugly.
45.
It's just the side of the game that experience teaches you that. You know, sometimes you win horrible matches, games where you don't play your best.
100.
Sometimes you lose and you play
Keegan, you
sensationally
require
well.
116.
But here, he just wants to do the job. 57 for tops. He's got the 57. Tops to finish it off.
96.
And that's a good leg from Keegan Brown. That's much better than the last leg.
Yeah, could have been a 15 darter. Doesn't want to mess around too much and have another one of those legs where it's breaking down into
60.
the double
Keegan, you
1. But
require
double
20.
10 for a 6-1, and Keegan Brown returning to the European Tour. First time he's played on it this year, and yeah, I think that's
No
a sensible
score.
dart.
Yeah, I think it's the right call. You don't want to be sitting on double 2. You'd much rather have a double like 10s where you've got more options if you split it.
Vivas has finally found his way to the treble 20. Well, firing a 170 to leave tops, why not? Might be the last darts you throw. Well, I think he can see the funny
what's
side
he
of it.
doing? He's doing it righty.
Yeah, go on, Justin Vivas, why not? 180 or a ball? Oh, it's unlucky. You can see it just caught the
135.
flight there as well.
It was option
Keegan, you
3.
require 20.
He's not bothered about it. He wants 10s. Now he wants 5s again. Double 5 he gets.
Shot.
And the game's all over,
Keegan
folks.
Brown.
6-1 is Keegan Brown.
It wasn't pretty, let's be honest, but it was a win. and Keegan Brown will face the world #1 Michael van Gerwen in the second round tomorrow. We have got 2 more games for you this afternoon. Justin Pike, a former finalist last year on the European Tour, takes on Richie Edhouse. But before that, one of the games of the opening round with the Dreammaker, Dimitri Vandenberg, winner on the Youth Tour last weekend, taking on the stalwart Mervyn King.
Come to me. Und Justin braucht noch ein bisschen Zeit. Der hat sich das natürlich anders vorgestellt. That was a kind of a difficult match. It was work.
It was, yeah. Justin put me under pressure at times, and thankfully I got through. That's the main thing.
Ja, trotzdem nochmal Applaus für Justin Webers für sein Debüt auf so einer Bühne. It was his first match on such a stage. That's a difficult one then.
It was, yeah. The second leg, he went out like a steam train, and all of a sudden he kind of slowed down, and I thought, jump on him at this stage. But yeah, it was a good game.
I think you have to lift up the quality a little bit. Michael van Gerwen is waiting next.
Yeah, it should be a good game with Michael, so, hopefully my darts will get better.
So, see you tomorrow again. Thank you very much. Keegan Brown, the Needle. Sagt, ja, das war so eine Partie, in der wir beide nicht so richtig in die Gänge kamen. Wusste nicht, dass Justin sein erstes Bühnenmatch bestreitet und ist froh, dass er durch ist. Aber er weiß auch, er muss jetzt dringend ein bisschen anziehen, denn Michael van Gerwen wartet. Die Nummer 1 der Welt, die Nummer 1 der Setzliste, ja hier auch bei diesen Happy Bet